What if I were to tell you that your brain wants you to fail? It learns more from your mistakes. That's why you're so aware of your mistakes as they're happening, and you remember them for longer. In this video, I'm going to explain why and tell you how failing on purpose can lead you to your greatest success. So let's get started. Your brain wants you to fail. It's designed to learn more from your mistakes, and that's why you're so aware while you're making the mistake, and you remember them for longer. Yet, society often teaches us to fear our failures and to cover up our mistakes. And it's this misalignment that is causing us all to be so miserable, especially neurodivergents, because, well, let's face it, we fail at being neurotypical every day. But have you ever thought that this might not be a design flaw? That perhaps learning from our failures is a survival skill? The discomfort you feel when you fail can be difficult to process, and there's a lot of feelings of shame and guilt that can come up. It makes sense that we would want to turn away from that. But it turns out that that feeling is crucial for neuroplasticity. That's our brain's ability to learn new things, to change our behaviors, and even our belief systems. It's that mix of frustration and the tenacity to reflect and try again that is like music to the neuroplasticity gods. And if you lean into your failure, you're more likely to learn the lesson the first time instead of pretending it never was while it keeps happening. Failing is fun for the whole family. My son is learning to cook right now, and he doesn't learn much when things run smoothly. It's not until he burnt his eggs that he learned that you can't cook them hot and fast. He learned what temperature you need them at, how long they should take, and probably most importantly, he learned that he can problem solve his way around a kitchen. Even if he had cooked the perfect egg, he wouldn't have been able to tell you what he did or didn't do to make that happen. Nothing moves you forward faster than failure. Failure is fun. And I know if you're carrying around a lot of shame, that probably sounds pretty ridiculous. And I'm not saying that some failure won't cost you. But not all failure has to feel like, well, failure. Focus on what you can learn from your failures, sure, but also think about your future failures. Okay, so I know that's truly horrible advice if you have a lot of anxiety about your future failures, but what if you started treating your failures as the goal? For instance, if you're looking for employment, you could try seeing how many job interviews you could go on before you get the job. Or if you're looking for a partner, you could see how many first dates you could go on. This isn't going to make the task any easier to achieve, but it is going to make it more productive. If the goal is to collect rejection, then you're going to send your resume out to more places or go on more first dates just to keep your streak alive. And then you can celebrate losing when you actually achieve your goal. Failure is just information. It's not prophetic, and it has no moral bearings until you add your belief system to it. And yeah, sometimes there's a solid case that you did something wrong. That's the human condition. But what are you going to do with that? What now? Are you going to sweep it under the rug and pretend it didn't happen? Or are you going to hold it up to the light and examine it with genuine curiosity and intrigue? You can learn so many lessons from that one mistake, because at the end of the day, it's a lot easier than carrying the burden of guilt and shame around with you. And here's the thing about neurodivergence and failure. Most of us are under the impression that we fail more than neurotypicals. Society does not like to give us more, and we are more forgetful, more disorganized, more sensitive. It tells us that these extras are flaws and that our experiences are failures simply because they don't follow a linear model. But here's the thing. Being late is not a mortal sin. Being forgetful does not make you a bad person. And being sensitive doesn't mean you're weak. You are not a failure. People are not failures. We have failures, and we can learn from them. There is a lot of talk about the growth mindset versus a fixed mindset within the self-development world. And don't get me wrong, the growth mindset has helped a lot of people get unstuck, including myself. But it is inadequate for the neurodivergent mind. And that's because the growth mindset is linear. Divergent means to radiate out in all directions. A neurodivergent life is not going to be linear. You will likely have a path that circles back on itself. You will change your career or your major multiple times. And it's easy to think of these stops and starts as your life's failures. But I say, that. Embrace a creative mindset. Allow yourself to be led by your whim and joy. Your intuition is strong. You can trust yourself to not just make the right decisions, but to learn the right lessons. And that's going to help you way more than following a path that doesn't belong to you. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all of those good things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.